Mika, it's very interesting last night about the president's speech.
Yes, it is. It's interesting, the mixed reaction to it. And
well, that's what was interesting. I thought the president hit some positive notes, did some things that needed to be done, and yet he got hammered pretty hard from all the networks. And I've spent a little bit of time between then and now just trying to figure out exactly
what it is people wanted?
Well, what they wanted and where this president is at this stage of the relationship with the American people. I mean, Republicans have proven by this point they're going to criticize him no matter what.
Right.
And I say that as a Republican, and I'm critical of the president, but I also, when he does something good, I say it. But not these Republicans in Washington. They're going to be critical no matter what. And it seems more and more that he has his own party seeming to pick at him for not going for enough.
Or certain members of the media as well. But I'm looking at the speech, and I'm looking at what he said, and it kind of rhymes with what we were talking about, what we were hoping for yesterday morning. So I'm a little confused. This morning there are many critics saying the speech offered no immediate remedies for a frustrated nation. Let's look at the cover there of the Huffington Post website, which calls the speech a junk shot, short on details failing to go big. And last night on MSNBC, Chris Matthews blasted the president's comments.
He said we have to accelerate this thing, accelerate the transition to renewables. That is the hardest thing in the world. That's what broke Jimmy Carter. Is he going to do it this year? Is there going to be a bill that goes from cap and trade to something like Lugar? Is there a particular direction he's going in? He didn't tell us. Why does he continue to say that the Secretary of Energy has a Nobel Prize? I mean, it's almost gotten ludicrous. We had Carol Browner do it again today. I know I've mocked him for doing it, saying I'd barf if he did it one more time, but it's not important. This meritocracy's gone too far. Isn't the president calling the shots here? And here he was delineating everybody's job, like Admiral Allen, and he's got this Nobel Prize guy, and then he's got this blue ribbon panel and all these people. I don't sense executive command, and I thought that was the purpose of this speech tonight.
You know,
I look forward to talking to Chris about that.
Yeah, Chris is
exactly what executive command
Chris is going to be here. We'd actually booked him before the speech, but you know, last night, Chris and Keith Olbermann and Howard Feynman were very critical of the president's speech. Of course, they were on Fox, and they were, a lot of them as well, on CNN. So what was your main frustration? Because we just talked off camera, all these clips were going. You were very frustrated.
I am uniquely unqualified to speak about this. I am not a fossil fuel expert. You know, but I am sort of a semi-expert in human suffering. I've been doing it for 30 years. And I'm wondering why he didn't address more in the Gulf who are losing their livelihoods. For instance, what happens if you go to BP and get reimbursed now for what you've lost in the past 57 days in your business? Can you file a claim down the road 2-3 months from now when you lose even more money? What are we going to do about energy in this country? The American people are so far ahead of politicians on this issue, it is pathetic. And he didn't, I understand he didn't want to take the time, 45 minutes, 50 minutes, to address steps that we have to take on energy conservation. But Americans are ready for this. We're paying $1 billion a day or a week to Saudi Arabia and other countries to sustain us. This has got to stop. And we need leadership on this. And the president, you know, he's terrific. I love the guy. I love listening to him most of the time. But, I mean, come on. Plant the flag and say, follow me. Here's where we're going.
What did he mean then when he said only if we seize the moment and only if we rally together and act as one nation, workers and entrepreneurs?
Words. Those are just words.
Well, what the hell are you saying? Words.
Well, he did.
I mean, he went in front of the American people. Yeah, and he is. My point is, it just seems like he can't do anything right.
Well,
and here he is setting the path that you're talking about.
I understand.
And now you're criticizing it for it not being enough. Well, and if he went out there and read like an encyclopedia, you guys would be saying, he's a professor, it's too much information. I mean, please, seriously, it's enough.
Okay.
This is just drivel.
I actually think, funny enough, I think...
Wow.
Well, I mean, come on, do you hear yourselves? Go ahead,
No,
Tina.
wait,
I'm
no,
sorry.
'cause I can't.
Do you all hear yourselves?
No, you're
so
absolutely
knee-jerk.
right. You're absolutely right.
Let's
we do
see
go
what
back and forth. I
happens.
mean, who cares what we say? We care what he says. But last night,
And-
I don't think he was specific enough for the American people. He wasn't specific enough for me, but who cares what I think?
Hey, I think every time that he's on TV, people expect to be wowed.
All right.
And they
well,
obviously weren't last
This
night.
isn't a 3D action flick. Ahead on Morning Joe, this morning's breaking political news in the Politico Playbook.
What does that mean?
What does that mean?
What does that mean?
What did you just say?
Well, you said people need to, I mean, it's just, what do you want him to do? Like, bust out of his clothes like the Incredible Hulk and jump down and bomb the thing?
Let's now look at some memorable Oval Office addresses from the past. So, memorable Oval Office addresses.
Therefore, I shall resign the presidency effective at noon tomorrow.
The erosion of our confidence in the future is threatening to destroy the social and the political fabric of America.
On the streets of major cities,
Seriously, Mike Barnacle, I rest my case.
He was practicing, but you knew that's where David Letterman was going.
No,
That
I
was
mean,
warm-up.
seriously.
Guy was just getting loose there. That was
Like
warm
a
up.
bunch of
Did we not say we were going to
second graders
Did we not
waiting
say
for
we
a
were gonna
movie
miss
to begin.
Bush?
And that's not what this is.
Mushka,
No,
read the
stop
papers.
it.